Hello, my name is Andrew Jackson. I'm head of geography and I've been teaching at OLA, as many of you know, for 6 years. I've been lucky enough to run a very successful geography department since 2014, and we've managed to achieve outstanding results through a various range of innovative teaching techniques, many different relevant and interesting field trips, and also obviously enthusiastic and very motivated students. The topics that we choose to study at A level are a wide range. We follow the AQA exam board. The physical topics are water and carbon cycles. So we build upon concepts which you learn about at GCSEs, such as the hydrological cycle, the ways in which rivers form, the processes which act within them, etc. But also we build upon more extreme examples such as carbon cycles and the way in which carbon flows through vegetation and the ocean. A second physical topic which we choose to teach is coastal landforms and processes. So some of those you obviously studied at GCSE. So landforms such as coasts, such as caves, arches, stacks, and stumps are covered in that, as well as more complex concepts such as sediment cells. The third physical topic that we study is hazards. So within that, we look at tectonic hazards as well as atmospheric hazards, looking at interesting case studies such as tsunamis, which happened in Japan, as well as ones way back in Boxing Day, the Boxing Day tsunami, which took place in Thailand. But those physical topics are primarily taught by Mrs. Goff, who is an excellent physical geography specialist. The other compartment of A-level geography is human geography, which is what I focus on. Unfortunately, I don't get to teach the interesting topics, physical topics that Mrs. Goff does, such as the rivers topic, which you can obviously see a waterfall in the background of a famous waterfall, which I took the students to a few years back in Iceland. These are obviously field trips which we hope to build upon over the next couple of years. Some of the field trips we currently do, I'll outline a bit later on. In terms of the human, which I myself teach, one of the human topics, which is global systems and global governance, is very, very topical in this day and age, with issues such as Donald Trump pulling out of the transatlantic trade agreements, where he obviously doesn't want to trade as much with China anymore. That's one of the issues that we look at, as well as issues such as the pros and cons of being part of the European Union and the different pros and cons of general trade blocs and what they bring to the UK as well as the wider world. And that's all within the topic of global systems and global governance. The second human topic which we study is population and the environment. So we look at issues such as how diseases are spread around the world, how pandemics start and how they have been affected by climate change. So we do touch upon the coronavirus and the impacts that's had both in more developed countries and less developed countries, as well as other infectious diseases such as malaria and Lyme disease. We also learn about non-communicable diseases such as coronary heart disease, diabetes type 2, and how they've primarily affected HICs, but also how they've affected LICs as well. Okay, so population and environment, very, very interesting topical topic as well. The third human topic that we study is changing places. Now, this is extremely interesting, as this is actually what I based my university dissertation on. One aspect of this topic is about how places promote themselves. So we look at famous cities such as Amsterdam, how they've massively changed their image to attract both business and tourism to the city. But this topic is also extremely interesting because it's very philosophical. It's the ways in which landscapes can become both symbolic and representative both of our cultures and of our general demographics. So changing places is a really interesting one. It builds both on our traditional geographical skills, but also introduces philosophical elements, which many of you general philosophy students would really enjoy. In terms of the coursework, so the coursework is worth 20% of the final mark. which obviously means the two exams, the physical exam and the human exam, both together are worth 80% of the mark. But the non-examined assessment, which is what we call the coursework, is worth 20%. So what we do is we offer you a guidance as to what particular topics you could maybe study within this non-examined assessment. It's between 3,000 to 4,000 words long, and the topics that you could maybe study relating to this coursework could either be maybe coasts, it could be to do with the water and carbon cycle, or it could maybe be to do with the changing places topic, where we go about doing what's called a home or clone town study to see how cloned different city centres are and the effect of chain stores on city centres, which forms part of the changing places topic. You could also, however, choose another more human topic, which is the quality of life, how quality of life varies around different towns and cities and why that is. And that builds upon the contemporary urban environment, another topic which we don't do, but you don't have to focus on the topic that we study in class. It's totally up to you. Or it could be completely something different. As long as the NEA, or in other words, the coursework is based upon some elements of the AQA syllabus, it's completely up to you. But we take you on 4 different field trips to help you to decide the kind of investigative techniques that you would like to use. So we take you to Hurst Castle Spit down in Hampshire for a day. We take you out to Oxford City Centre to study how chain stores have had an impact on Oxford, or whether independent stores are still a significant part of Oxford City Centre. We also ask you to do a study on infiltration techniques, how different land surfaces allow different levels of infiltration. We do that around Abingdon. And we also do a quality of life survey in and around Abingdon as well, which is similar to some extent to the quality of life survey that you studied at GCSE. So those are the main elements of the course, human and physical aspects. We've had an absolutely outstanding uptake in previous years. So for example, the year just gone, the upper 6th, there were 13 students studying A-level geography, all of which achieved outstanding grades. And over the past 6 years, the grades that we've managed to achieve really have been excellent. They've all gone well above ALEC's predictions. And most years, most students tend to get grades A and B, a few getting C's, but generally we tend to achieve mostly A and B, and even A-star grades, which we've been very, very pleased about. And I think that the main reason why the subject is so popular at A-level is not just because of the grades that we achieve, but also because of the real-life nature of the skills which you inherently learn within the course. Being able to interpret data is an extremely invalid skill that you would use in business, interpreting, manipulating data, spotting trends in data, any financial job that would be applicable to. But also the literacy skills which you develop within A-level, building upon the stuff that you learn in English, being able to form reasoned arguments, being able to evaluate and analyze information extensively is, of course, a very, very transferable skill. And these kind of skills lead into diverse careers. Friends of mine who've studied geography both at A-level and in degree have gone on to very interesting careers, ranging from being accountants to auditors, to working in marketing. Even many friends of mine have gone on to work in town and city planning, one of which worked in the London Regeneration Project for the 2012 Olympics, and now he's now working on the Melbourne Harbour Project out in Australia. So those kind of careers obviously can be directly applicable to geography. Others have gone into surveying, is a very popular career to go into from geography. And I myself actually used to be an environmental consultant before I was a teacher. So that is a huge growth area these days, environmental consultancy. All companies have to abide by environmental laws. That's a legal requirement now. And the jobs that are available in environmental consultancy are both well paid, very diverse, and it's a hugely growing sector. So those are some of the reasons why I would say choose geography in general, but obviously at OLA, it's a specifically strong subject. We have great class sizes, enough to promote a good, valuable discussion within lessons, but not too many that I can't give you the one-on-one help that you'd obviously need. Any more questions? feel free to email me at ajackson@olab.org.uk or come and speak to me in person. I hope to speak to you soon.